So we're here at the Spring Experience with Rod Johnson and Neelan Choksi. Some big announcements came out here. Can you guys take it from the top? What's new?
There were three major announcements at the show. The first was the addition of a new Spring portfolio product, the Spring integration product. Secondly, the broadening of our enterprise support offering into a subscription offering. So that's a fairly natural but quite important evolution of our business model. And thirdly, we announced the SpringSource certification program. So as of mid-January, developers will be able to go to any one of 4,500 testing centers worldwide and take a certification on the Spring framework versus version 2.5.
Wow, pretty big news. Tell us more about the commercial support offering. This is now the first time you're announcing, I guess, your new direction now after the VC funding. What's in store?
Well, I think that a very important distinction to us, I think, is that we took funding to realize our objectives rather than took funding so people could tell us what our objectives were. And I think that is a very, very important distinction. And that's one of the things that happens when you take funding, when you have a real business, when you already have a significant number of employees, you have a significant number of customers, you have a very popular and mature product. This is an evolution of our offering rather than a disruptive change. So certainly if you look at SpringSource's customer base, you see that we have many very large enterprise customers. In fact, here at the Spring Experience, we welcome to speak in the keynote a senior architect from HSBC, and he spoke about how they see benefits in a very large global organization about using Spring and purchasing support from SpringSource. So what we've seen is that there is a demand not merely for the kind of knowledge and assurance and peace of mind that we bring through our support contracts, but also for some of that knowledge and expertise to be expressed actually in software that supplements the Spring portfolio for particular enterprise use.
Neelan, what are the offerings that you get with subscription?
So at the conference, we introduced three new products: the SpringSource Tool Suite, the SpringSource Pack for the Oracle database, and the SpringSource Application Management Suite. Really, each of these products are targeted at different audiences that that use Spring and the Spring portfolio products. So the SpringSource Tool Suite is a development tool suite. It's something that will dramatically increase the productivity of developers and architects using Spring. And it's a step function change in how tools around Spring will be used. The SpringSource Management Suite is a tool directed at operations folks for products that are in the runtime. And it's going to give them the ability to manage and monitor what's going on with their applications, troubleshoot problems, and also avoid problems that may happen ahead of time. The database pack for the Oracle pack will be is a very, very important enterprise technology that a small subsegment of our customers use a lot. The Oracle pack basically gives folks that are using the Oracle database and the Oracle RAC database in particular the ability to leverage the investment that they've made in that database and take advantage of a bunch of features that traditionally they don't generally take advantage of. From failover, some of the scalability features that the Oracle database provides. The beautiful thing about it is the developers that are programming to this only have to program to the Spring JDBC. And what they get out of it is, out of the box, we'll figure out how to access these advanced features in the Oracle database for them.
I think a number of these products really combine the range of strengths that we have in this organization. So for example, when you look at the management pack, we've entered into a partnership with Hyperic, a vendor of a high quality management console, to provide a good solution. And we're also using very heavily there our unique expertise in Aspect-J. So we're actually using the power of Aspect-J to highly efficiently instrument the core Spring runtime to export management information. Similarly, if we look at the Oracle pack, We're actually using the fact that Thomas Risberg, one of the core Spring developers and the lead of Spring JDBC, is also an Oracle DBA. And also as a company, we have a good relationship with Oracle. So they've really been quite helpful in suggesting ways that we can add value in integration with the Oracle database.
What kinds of management artifacts will be exposed through the management tools?
You will see a lot of information about the performance of your application and also the operation of the Spring runtime itself. So it will actually provide the ability not merely to instrument Spring itself, but to help you to expose a lot of management information about your Spring managed objects. This is something that we've actually seen for some time with Spring's support for transparent JMX exporting. So you can export any Spring managed bean as a JMX mbean without writing any JMX specific code. What we're doing with the Spring management pack is taking that to a far greater degree of sophistication and addressing a lot of issues around monitoring with the sophistication you need in the enterprise. For example, you need historic monitoring results. You need to be able to set thresholds. There are a whole range of areas in which we believe we can provide something beyond what an application developer would reasonably do with JMX.
So also at the conference, you announced Spring integration. What's Spring integration and what does it mean for your product offering?
So essentially this is a product that's focused around the classic EAI patterns. For example, some of those that people will be familiar with from Gregor Hope's book. Things like transformation, message transformation. I mean, essentially this enables asynchronous programming models to be constructed in a very simple POJO-oriented fashion. So there are patterns related to routing, like aggregators and splitters. There are patterns related to transformation. So essentially it gives you the ability to wire together endpoints that communicate with a pipeline of transformational and other components.
Spring was a very important disruptive technology in the Java community, driven through open source. And what would you say? Some people now might question the ability for that disruption to continue since you're going pure commercial. How would you address that?
I think that's a very interesting question, Floyd, and I think we've been absolutely clear here on our deep commitment to open source. So one of the first points to notice is that the programming model which has been at the heart of the disruption of Spring, is Apache licensed open source. So if you look at all of those products that we've announced, they don't actually invent new programming models. The only product that we've announced at this show that invents a new programming model is Spring Integration, and that is an open source Apache license product. So actually we believe that rounding out our offering as a software vendor enables us to contribute far more to open source. So it also enables us to address parts of the enterprise market that feel uncomfortable with pure open source offerings. So if people wish to use purely the open source products in the Spring portfolio, that is absolutely fine. We will also sell support on those offerings, or alternatively they can use them and not pay any money. We do think that open source is really the only way to define new programming models today. So, we're not in the business of creating proprietary programming models.